Welcome to our program today. Today we're going to talk about risks. You might say high risk. I'm with Randy Mount, who you might say gambled a bit in business, and maybe you have as well in the restoration industry. Opportunities come up and we look at them and we say, I'm going to go all in, or maybe we say not now. But Randy, welcome to the program.
Thank you,
I'd
Jack.
like to get to know you a little bit. Tell us about yourself and your company, and then we're going to talk about some risks you've taken.
My name is Randy Mount, president of several companies. So I've got Ram Restoration and then a whole line of restoration. I got Open Up Ram USA, which is based out of Florida. We got Ram Mold Pro, we got a plumbing company, we got a construction company, and then Extreme Microbial Technologies. Now, I'm the president of all those companies, and so it's been a journey, is the best way to put it.
Randy, you live in Dayton, Ohio, or nearby?
I'm based out of Dayton, Ohio. It's where the corporate offices are, but I primarily moved to Florida for the last 4 years.
Okay, I live in Columbus, so I guess we're neighbors at times.
Yes, yeah. Very close.
Go Buckeyes. But I understand a few years ago, you had an opportunity to chase a storm, and you had to go all in, and if it didn't work out, it might have been a financial strike against you. What happened? Talk about that.
So, Hurricane Ian hit. I didn't even see it on the news or have anything to do with it. A good friend of mine, new fiance, had a house down there on an island in Florida.
Okay.
And she was telling me they couldn't find anybody to go work on it, and the house is destroyed, the island is destroyed, everything is destroyed. They don't know how they're going to get back on their, get things fixed up. I said, well, that's the business I'm in. I'll grab 3 trucks, 12 guys. Let's go down to Florida and put it back together for you.
And you hadn't done that before?
Never.
You just you were focused on?
Oh, we didn't work outside of a 50-mile radius.
Of course, you were doing everything. You were doing plumbing and pest control. No, you probably didn't.
No, we didn't do that. But we did, everything that we went down there to do, we had done before. But we did one house at a time. I mean, our average job back then was probably $10,000. Big job would have been a $50,000 job as a single job. And so I'll never forget it. I'm throwing everything into the car to drive down there. The wife's at the door and she goes, when are you going to be home? And I says, this is October 3rd. And I says, I don't know, but it'll be a Wednesday. A couple hours into the travel, driving, I got on the highway, and she calls me up because I'm just stumped. Why a Wednesday? I go, well, Thanksgiving's on Thursday, right? That's what I'll be home for Thanksgiving. And I didn't come home until then. But we went all in. We had struggled through business over the years, started saving up money to where started thinking about retirement and, to have something set aside. Because we really didn't have any investments, and so we just started putting money aside. So we had a healthy bank account. I emptied it.
Okay, this is the point that matters because this is a gamble.
We went through, I spent $1.2 million in 6 hours.
To go to Florida.
To go to Florida. Well, let me back up. We got on the way to Florida, I'm like, well, we could do more than one job. So I started making phone calls.
You were strategizing on the car.
20-hour drive. I'm making phone calls. Next thing you know, I've got contracts that are in the millions being emailed to me to do this complex, do that complex.
From networking with what, insurance adjusters, or how were you doing this?
A guy in my office that 3 weeks prior that it was like he was a public adjuster, wanted to partner up with us and do things in Ohio and this and that, and he had contacts and told he's a bigger company, and I called him up. I'll never forget it. Called him up and he goes, hey, I know another guy. So he calls another guy, another roofing company that had sold all these contracts, but they didn't have a restoration company to do them. And I'm like, well,
guess what?
We're all in. And so just started getting those coming in, and then I emptied the bank accounts. I left enough money in there that would make that week's payroll, and that was it.
Did your wife know what you were doing?
She has access to all the bank accounts. She handles all the payroll, all the finances.
You were hoping she wouldn't look.
I got the phone call, And she says, you know, I love you, but I sure as hell hope you know what you're doing because you just spent all of our money.
She didn't say stop. She just said, I hope you know what you're doing.
I hope you know what you're doing.
Okay.
And so I went all in, and I got down to Florida.
I hope so.
Yep. And we got involved in the one project, and then we got there. The only way to get on that island was on a barge. It was a private island. And with lots of houses and condos on it, it was a resort. And so working on the one house, come to find out that the girl's house we were working on, friend of, the fiance of a really good friend of mine, her husband that passed away a few years back, developed the entire island. So her stepson owned the resort. So she says, hey, Adam wants to see you. So I go see Adam. Adam's like, what are your capabilities? Keep in mind, I only had 15 employees at the time, between Dayton and people I brought down there. I says, well, do anything you need.
Okay.
So.
I mean, you just spent $1.2 million on stuff.
On stuff.
You needed to use that stuff.
And so we wound up taking care of 76 houses. These are not your normal houses. These are beach houses. 10,000 square foot houses. 280 condos.
Wow.
We ramped up to 180 personnel in 72 hours just on that island alone. Not counting what we were doing in the shopping centers and everywhere else, all through Port Charlotte and Fort Myers. I ended up borrowing another $3 million. Banks wouldn't touch. I mean, you just don't call the bank and ask them for $3 million.
I've never done that myself.
You don't call the bank and ask them for $100,000 when you're in the situation I was in. So I went to the costly money and borrowed that. Of course, my wife calls me up when she sees all that money going in the bank accounts. Where in the heck did you get that? Now I got to explain myself again.
Yep.
All in. We worked 6 months straight, 7 days a week, 18 hours a day. It paid off. It paid off.
Did you get home on a Wednesday?
I did. I made it home on a Wednesday, celebrated Thanksgiving on Thursday, and then back on the road Saturday, back to Florida.
Okay. So how long were you were in Florida for how many months? You said
6 months
6
straight.
months. And then
I launched a full-scale company down there.
All right. And since then?
Since then, been down there coming up on 4 years. We've got office, warehouses. My home is down there, a homestead. I'm pretty much living there full time. My wife goes back and forth. The largest year we ever had before Hurricane Ian was $2 million with all the different companies we had. That year we did $36 million.
Those watching this right now are thinking, I'm going to do this. Let the hurricane come. I'm going to go down there and I'm going to do what Randy did. What would you sell them?
You have to be very resilient. We lived in neighborhoods that had no running water, 2-3 hour drive to the closest gas station and grocery store that was open.
Tough times.
You got to figure things out that are impossible. Emotional.
Yeah.
Just sacrifices that my family made.
So while you were down there, I know you're getting emotional right now. That's fine. There were probably many moments you were thinking, what am I doing? I could have just stayed home and made my $2 million a year. What was the turning point where you were like, I'm glad we did this. I know it's going to be good when we're done.
I never quit anything. That's my driving force. Anybody you ever talk to that knows me says he's got no quit, refuses to quit. And I think that that's the number one driver any entrepreneur needs to have. Just does not even have the ability or understand what the word quit means. When you look at that turning point, it was probably that 6 months when we got our first checks. Not a dollar for 6 months. We're doing this work on faith that we're going to get paid.
Maybe some credit cards.
Credit cards are tapped out.
Yep.
American Express calling saying, you know, you've exceeded your credit limit by $1.2 million. We don't know how they allowed you to keep charging before they turned them off. Just everything that could hit you, hit you. And then at 6 months, that first check come in. That check, biggest checks I've ever seen.
Then you got to start paying it back.
Paid it back, paid everybody back, paid all the interest back, put a lot of money in the bank accounts, paid off all of our equipment. You know, went from everything paid for on a small scale, all of our trucks, very little debt at all, to huge debt, to a year later, all debt paid off. And, you know, I got people that say you got lucky or whatever. There was no luck. To take that kind of blind risk, and to do what we did, I look back and I get emotional because I'm reliving that impossible task every day.
Since you're a hard worker and you never give up, talk about your innovative abilities. What else have you done in business to make all this come together?
Well, as you can see, kind of the backdrops of microbial reduction, extreme microbial technologies, I created that about 10 years ago for mold remediation, sensitized individuals, putting out energized hydrogen peroxide, taking other technologies and enhancing them, learning from them, and making something a lot better. Currently hold over 17 patents, worldly patents on the technology and what we do and how we do it. Partnered up with other great people between Normie and other people to, you know, to really support us in what we do. Constantly improving and doing things differently. Yeah, I've never been able to accept this is how you do it. Just because this is how you've done it since 1942 doesn't mean there isn't a different way,
Right.
or a better way. Sometimes different versus better, but there's another way. I don't have a college degree. I didn't graduate high school. I didn't graduate high school because I was worked too much and I didn't show up enough days to pass.
They do want you there.
They do.
Yep.
Hey, you do got to show up so many days to pass. But I mean, started my first business at 14 years old. I had 3 trucks and 6 employees before I had a driver's license.
It's in your blood. Well, great. You have great products, the patents, the innovation. You have company in 2 locations. You're helping people. I would imagine you went above and beyond helping those in Florida during that time. My last question is, if you went back in time to when you spent that money and made that decision, knowing what you went through, would you do it again?
Yeah.
Would you?
I would do a few things differently.
Because you learned, right?
Yeah.